Thank you, Prithvi. It is good to be with you. It is indeed a joy to be with you all, sharing the Word of God. And I'm right now in a different place. I'm in Coimbatore right now. And so I hope the internet will be stable and I hope that things will be better. And so if you see some fluctuations, and please pardon me and please bear with me. Anyway, so today I want to talk about keys to success or key to success. That will be the focus for today. And you may be asking that why this kind of topic that I'm going to talk about. Many a times we as Bible teachers or pastors, we are overwhelmed with our own world, with our own interpretive frameworks or ministries and biblical interpretation and so on. So we come and share what we are going through or what we are passionate about. But instead of sharing what the church would like to hear or some of the needs of the church, so as we were talking in Amjikare Church, and so me and Joy were talking in Amjikare, and so we thought it'll be better for us to come up with some relevant topics that our church might like to hear or might like us to address. And so I preached this sermon a few weeks ago, and so I'm going to preach the same here. Please bear with me on this. And the idea is, what are some of the important keys for success? Or if there is one key important aspect that we need to know for success, what is that? That's what I want to focus. And as usual, and I would take a passage and then read the passage and bring the meaning out of the passage and apply it for our life. And we all need to succeed in life, I believe. We all need to succeed in life. And this next slide says that everyone deserves to succeed. What do I mean by that? In the midst of several issues around, we see that few people have even lost hope. Few people go into this depression and go into this downward spiral or go in some other place and say that I can't do it. I don't get the success. I cannot be successful. Or few people, and sadly, it is a reality in many other circles, especially in places like India, where we see that women and few others are placed in a particular framework, and you need to do only these things, and you are only situated in a certain framework. You cannot go out and be successful as other people are. And I'm not just talking about women, I'm also talking about caste and groups and other issues are there where we limit people and their capacities and their capabilities. And I think that's not true in the Bible. Bible gives equal authority to everybody, equal opportunities to everybody. And we are all made to be successful, I believe. And we are all made to contribute for the welfare of this world. There is this beautiful theology called theology of work, which says every human being is created for work. God, when He created the garden, and I mean Garden of the Eden, and He had created man and woman, and He said, "I've given the dominion, and you go and till and work." And so He had given the responsibility. The word is dominion, but what it means is that it's not ruling over. It is basically to administer. It is basically to take care of. It is to work with and to administer properly. So God has given us the ability and also the responsibility to work with the nature. So all of us, irrespective of our class, irrespective of our gender, irrespective of our creed, irrespective of our caste, and we are all determined, we are all deserving to succeed in life. What is our passion? You know what we do, and I work with Bible colleges, and we go to Bible colleges and evaluate Bible colleges and give accreditation for them. And so when we go to a college, I'm right now in Coimbatore for an evaluation of a college here. And so when we go to a college, and so first thing that we ask is that, what is your vision? What is your mission in this ministry? So when we ask this question, they will talk about their vision and mission. And then based on this vision and mission, and we will look at all the things that they are doing and say, are you successful, or could you do this better? And can you concentrate on these areas? And so these are some of the aspects that we talk about. So let me just share this also, similar things. What is our vision in life? What is our dream in life? What is our desire in life? If we can, come up with that, it'll really be helpful. And when we have this vision and also our mission, and it'll really help us to succeed. So the point that I'm trying to say is everyone deserves to succeed. We all deserves success. So if you ask me, what is one key important aspect for success? I would say relationship is essential for success. If you ask few people, they will say that you need to work hard, you need to work smart, and so many other aspects they may talk about. And you may be wondering why I'm just picking relationship as the key important thing for success. Well, I was quite young, and while I just joined Bible college long time back, it should be about 21 years ago. And the president of the Bible college, and he would repeatedly say, his name is Chuck Winley, he's still our mentor, me and Joyce's mentor, and he officiated our wedding, and we admire his life. And so I'm going to share a lot about him and what he had done for us today. So please bear with me on that also. And so what he used to say is this: if you want to have anything in life, it is there with someone else. For example, if you want money, you are not going to get money from heaven. And this money that you have is there with someone else. I mean, your clients or your workers, your sponsors. So someone is going to give you the money. And so whatever you need is there with someone else. And if you want to get this, for yourself, and you need to get it from someone else. So if you maintain good relationship with others, and you can get what you want to get, and you can move on in life, and you can succeed. And this is an amazing eye opener for me. And so whatever we need, we have it in the hands of other people. Whatever we need, it's there in the hands of other people. And when we have good relationship, when we maintain good relationship, obviously we can get these things from others. So if you're looking for success, if you're looking for promotion, it is there in the hands of your boss or your team and others. And if we maintain good relationship with our boss, and obviously there is a possibility that we can get that promotion. I know that it's hard. It's hard to please our boss, because our boss is going to make us work really hard, and in untime that he is going to call, and he is going to make us work. And so all other complications are there. But when we maintain good relationships, when we establish good relationship, obviously we can go one step higher in the path of success. So that's what I want to talk about. And if you notice what happens, I want to take 3rd John, and I want to talk about this one. And when we just go and talk with experienced people, those who retired from important positions, and if you just go and sit with them and talk, and a few of the important things that they will talk about is that how great success that they have had in life, and how their relationship was key for success. And if we just look at the book called 3rd John, and it's one of the writings that John the elder has written. And we know that John wrote this in some of the last years of his life. And especially he was old, and he was quite old in the sense maybe around 90s. And so in 90s, he was writing these books, and especially 3rd John, he was writing. It's a beautiful book. And I see a lot of relationship aspects there in that book. And that's why I picked this book. So let's just look at this passage and see what John is saying. The elder, who is John himself, And so the elder is the one who is writing, and he is writing to Gaius, and two people that he is writing to, two leaders that he is writing to. And Gaius is the leader of a church, and another leader of the church that he is also naming here in this book. We'll talk about him later. And so this particular leader of the church that he is writing to, and obviously if you see the dynamics and then relationship dynamics, and we see that elder is older, and so he is about 90 plus years old. And so he had been in ministry for so long. He was with Jesus Christ, and he was the favorite disciple. He calls himself as favorite disciple in the book of John. And so he was from that framework, and he had great leaders around him in Jerusalem and other parts of the world. And he was a key leader of Christendom, Christianity. And while he was in that stature, and he is writing to a small church leader, and it should have been a home church, and home church in the sense maybe about 30 to 40 people would have been there in the church. And this small church leader or pastor, he is just writing to him and addressing him as dear friend. How beautiful it is. He says, to my dear friend Gaius, whom I love in truth. And one of the important things that I want to establish, that if you want to maintain good relationship with others, and one of the important things that we need to have is respect. Respect is key for relationship. I had this quite a bad experience and with a person, and he was a boss. He was our leader earlier, but in the first few weeks itself, and it was quite new. We just moved to India at the time, and so he just joined in that college, and I was just working as a teacher. And the way that he would address everybody is that, he will just come and then call us as Tambi. And the way that he would call, we were used to sir and, with our titles and other things, but, Tambi, we are not into titles. But the way that he would use the term Tambi, it's also to manipulate, to put down, to make sure that we fully follow what he says. So we were like subjects and not having our own voice, and everything we say and do should just follow his command and not just share anything else. And so the respect was not there. And later on, we saw that, he could not continue as a leader, and he was sent off. So the point that I'm trying to say is that even though we are in a superior position, and the way we respect others is very, very important for maintaining good relationships. I still remember I was 20 plus years old, the president of the Bible College, and he took us to Burger King. And Burger King abroad has good burgers. It's not like, the Burger King here, where you have chicken burgers and lamb burgers. I don't consider them as burgers at all. So please pardon me for that. And so he took us to this Burger King, and then we ordered Opa. And he just looked at me and he addressed me as, please give a junior Opa for my friend. He was the president of the Bible College, and he addressed me as friend. And it just gave me a great joy, and it just identified, or it just helped me identify as a friend, and just added value. And it's very, very important. I still consider, as I mentioned earlier, I still consider him, or we still consider him as mentor. Yeah, even about 1.5 years ago, I had a major crisis in life, and I told Joyce that, I need to go and talk to him, and went to Thailand and sat with him, spent a good amount of time, few days with him in order to learn and then, get his opinion. This is what happens when you are respected. You want to maintain that relationship. And when someone respects us, in spite of our situations, in spite of all these things, you would want to maintain that relationship. And that relationship can be a long-standing relationship. And that's what here John is doing. He is just establishing himself as a friend, not as a boss, or not as the bishop, not as the leader. He is just coming down and saying, I want to be your friend. I want to address you in your own situation. Where are you? How do you maintain your relationship? What are the relationships that you have in life that you want to strengthen, especially the spouses, the relationship between husband and wife? If you want to maintain a good relationship between husband and wife, and one of the things that we need to do is give respect to the other person, give respect to the other individual, not to treat them as someone else, but with respect. Even in the words that we use, we should be very respectful. We should not use demeaning or other kind of words, but use words that are loving and respectful. And even the way we address should be respectful. And I think we can learn this from John, though that he is a bishop or key leader of Christendom. He was addressing the small house church pastor as a friend, as dear friend, not just a friend, dear friend. And he goes on to say, whom I love in truth. And when you respect someone, you also love that person. And this is a beautiful thing that we see or we can learn from the elder, from John. Verse 2 talks about, dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is that, in those days, when people like Paul and John and others were doing ministry, they were not confined to one place. See, imagine 2000 years ago, traveling was not easy. 2000 years ago, going to one place to another was not easy. And communication was not easy. Communicating to the people who are living far away was not easy at all. In those days, if they had to travel, they had to go by ship or by walking and other means, and they had to spend a lot of money, really lot of money. Less than 0.5 percentage of the people would travel to other places, and the longer distance travels were just restricted to very, very few people in a village, right? So it means that very few people could travel. And also to writing, only 1% of the population in those times were able to read, not writing. I'm even talking about reading. So even communication was very, very less. And if they had to write a letter, and they cannot write letter on their own because they were not used to writing. And so usually they would have amanuenses, a guy that who would just write letter. And so they would just hire somebody to write, and for each line they have to pay. And the paper, which is called papyrus, it should come from Egypt. It's imported one, and so it's very expensive, and the ink is not easy to get. So all of these are important ones and also expensive ones, imported ones. So it was not a simple affair at all. Right now, if you have a WhatsApp and a small phone, you can just send message, and then the other person can just get this one, and you can communicate so easily. But here the elder is spending a lot of money and efforts and others in order to communicate, showing gratitude for the friend. If you notice, many of the books in the Bible were written particularly to talk about the teachings of the Bible or the teachings of Jesus Christ, teachings of God, and so on. But if you notice in this book, it is primarily to talk about hospitality, thanking that person for hospitality. You have given hospitality to our people. I want to thank you. So what this person is doing, what John is doing here, is that he is spending an extraordinary amount of money just thank that person for hospitality, to maintain relationship. So how important it is to maintain relationship, that's an important point that I want to talk about. And number one, we have to show respect. And number two, what we see here is that he shows genuine respect or like genuine concern to that friend. He says, dear friend, I pray that everything should go well with you, and you will have or you should have good health. And it's talking about, and so to maintain good relationship, we need to show genuine concern. Dear friends, we are living in a world where people can identify if we are fake. I was just in a seminar yesterday where a young person, a millennial, came and then talked about millennials and then Gen Zs, and he was talking about the characteristic features of these age groups people. And so when he went on talk about all these things, and one of the things that he says is that our people are coming to us, to our Bible colleges, not for information alone. Right now they have information at their hand. They have information at their hand. In Google, in internet, they have information. But why they are coming to us is that in order that they can learn something authentic from us, along with the information, authentic concern and other authenticity is the one that they are looking for. Do we have? That is the question that he asked. How amazing is that? Our young people are looking for genuine concern. We cannot fake these things with people, and especially in long-term relationship, in husband and wife relationship, or in familial relationship, or in a workplace, we cannot show concern or fake concern for a long time, and it will be very, very obvious. People can detect it very, very obviously. So we need to show concern, and we need to show genuine concern to other people. And here we see the elder doing this one so beautifully. He says that I pray that you may enjoy good health. And it is not just an epistolary thing, but it is genuine concern. And Mike Vance says that success and all good things in life start with a genuine concern for others. If you want to be successful, please be concerned about others and show that genuine concern to others. I was just in a seminar. It was a major seminar, and we were having Zoom meeting. And in this Zoom meeting, one person was addressing about 200, 300 people. And so I was just observing this person when he was addressing us, when he was looking at the camera and addressing us, and we see that he was sincere. And when he turned and looked at his own people who were in the room, in his room, and his subordinates, his workers, and the way he looked at them was very different. And he was commanding. He wasn't showing respect. He wasn't showing good concern. He will say change slide, and the way he would look at them, his face changed, and it was very obvious that he doesn't treat his workers well. So the point that I'm trying to say, my friends, is that, and people can understand, people can identify, and through which they also may not take us as sincere people, and it may hinder our success. In order for us to succeed in life, we need to have genuine concern for others. Verse 5, let's go on to the next one. Verse 5, John says, dear friend, you are faithful in what you are doing for the brothers and sisters, even though they are strangers to you. Please notice that John is in one place and these people are in different places, Ephesus most probably, and where, so he's sending few people to the church, and these people are going, strangers, going to the place of Gaius or the church of Gaius. And so Gaius is now showing his hospitality to them, and where John is saying that you are faithful in what you are doing to them. And though that the people that I've sent are strangers to you, and you are showing concerns for them. And so he says, they have told the church about your love, and please send them on their way in a manner that honors God. And it was for the sake of the name that they went out and receiving no help from the pagans. And we are therefore to show hospitality to such people so that we may work together for the truth. The point that he is trying to say is that you have shown hospitality. You have done something good. And so a leader of Christianity at the time, or the leader of the church, is writing to a small church leader or a pastor and saying what you have done is really good and you have shown hospitality. And so one of the important things that we can learn from here is this: appreciation is very important to maintain good relationships. Let me repeat again. Appreciation is important to maintain good relationships. So if you want to maintain good relationship, and you need to appreciate others, and appreciation should become a culture. Every time we meet others, even in small ways, we can appreciate them. No, I like your shirt. I like the hair. I like what you're doing. I like the way that you're pronouncing this. So in every possible way that we can appreciate others. Have you noticed that critiquing others is more easy than appreciating others? How many of you would just say that, I can critique others so easily? I can critique others so easily. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. It is so easy for us. It can just come automatically from us. But appreciating takes time, appreciating takes efforts, and appreciating should become the culture. I still remember going on the roads of Ananagar in Chennai as I was just walking, and I had a friend who was in real estate. And as we were walking, he would just point out and said, "This house is about 12 crores." And I just settled this deed. I held this person by, and they're just building this place. So they would just build this beautiful building, which is worth about 12 crores. And then they will have a very ugly picture there. Have you noticed in few buildings there? No, beautiful building, beautifying, lot of crores are spent to beautifying the building, but some ugly picture is there, and we call that as drishti. So the main important thing is that no one should appreciate this building. If you say something positive about this building, and something bad is going to happen, and because of that phenomenon, and we don't appreciate others at all, because appreciating may carry bad things. So this evil eye concept and others are there. And because of that, many a times we don't appreciate others. And especially in family, we don't appreciate others. Especially the husband and wife, we don't appreciate others. Appreciating should become the part of our life. It should become a culture in our life that we should appreciate others in order that we can maintain good relationship. And if you notice, John here goes on, verse 3, it gave me great joy when some believers came and testified about your faithfulness to the truth. So he's just talking about somebody came and told us about you, and so I am happy about it. Look at the way he is going on and saying this, telling how you continue to walk in it, in the sense how you continue to do this hospitality. And verse 4, he goes on and then repeat the same thing or similar thing in verse 3. He says, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in the truth. So in order to appreciate well, it's not like your shirt is nice and so on, but we have a key to appreciate. And Bruce Wilkinson says this, in order for you to appreciate, please use this framework. Number one, say that, I'm happy. Identify the feelings. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I'm grateful. So bring in your feelings, your emotion with appreciation, and then say, because you did identify the action that that person has done, because you did this, I'm really happy. That's the same thing we see that John is doing here. John is doing something very, very important, and he's saying, I'm happy, I'm joyful because of the things that you are doing. So, dear friends, we may have to appreciate others. It should become a culture so that we can establish long-standing good relationships with others. And appreciation is intending to build others. Appreciation is not to puff ourselves out, show how great we are, and it is not intended for manipulating or flattery, but appreciation is primarily intended to build others. Let us just think about this one. As I appreciate, is it building others? Is it building others? We need to build others. That should be the main objective of appreciation. As we don't have time, let me just move on. And here, verse 11, John says, dear friend, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. Anyone who does what is good is from God. Anyone who does what is evil has not seen God. Now he's talking about his own team member, and he's saying Demetrius is the one that who went from John to the church. And so as he traveled there, and he's saying Demetrius is well spoken of by everyone, and even by the truth itself, we also speak well of him. And so what John here is trying to do is that identifying his team and appreciating his team. And one of the important things that I see is, in order for us to succeed, we need to work with a team. We need to work with the team. Many times we don't work with the team. And in order to succeed, we need to work with it. If we are doing everything on our own, it will be very hard for us to expand. It will be very hard for us to succeed. In the Christian ministry terms, we say that, if you are a pastor, when you reach 50 people, 60 people, church, you will have a break, or you will have something stopping you from growing, and you need to break that in order to grow. And where it is, you have to share your responsibility. You cannot do everything. You have to share your responsibility with other people, and you work as a team. And as you build the team, you can grow from 50 to 100 people church. And after 100 people church, you break, you have more problems, and you have to go to the house visiting and prayers, this and that. You cannot do everything, and now you need to build more people, have an assistant pastor so that you can grow, and 500 people, and you will have another hindrance again, and build your team again and have more pastors. You have worship pastor, you have media pastor, and then so many other pastors that you need to establish. You become the senior pastor, leader, break it, go for 1,000 people, and then 5,000 people, so on. So we talk about the same rule applies also in our workplace. And when we are in workplace, in our business and others, if we keep on doing everything, we cannot really succeed. And we need to work with others. We need to bring other people who are talented, and we need to work with them so that we can grow. And for that, relationship is very important. Have you noticed? People who are successful will have good people around them, strong people around them, and they will have good relationship with them. And as your team is strong, as you work with your team, and I think you can get success easily. And in order for your team to be dynamic, you need to empower your teams. Many times what happens is that people would hire other people, but still they will be doing the same thing what they have been doing. You hired, but you are not willing to give the responsibility to other people. You hired other people, but you are not empowering the others. You are so insecure, you're afraid, you're worried, and you are not empowering others properly. And for success, we need to empower others. Think about this one. We see Elder John is there, and he could not travel anymore, and he is old already. He could not do these things. And if he is not traveling, and if he is not allowing others to take his place to travel to different places, and obviously the church may go on its own, and it may not be established. The truth may not be established there, and the training may not be happening. And so what John is doing is that he's establishing Demetrius and as the key leader who can go there in his place, and he's empowering him to go there and be there as the leader, and so that he can establish the churches all around him. That's one of the important things that we need to do. Number one, build the team. Number two, also empower the team, trust the team, maintain good relationship with them so that they can go and then do these things outside as well. And verse 9, I'm going to finish it in 5 minutes. And he is talking about Diotrephes, and who is identified as a person who loves to be first, and he is not giving hospitality to other people, and he is also not allowing other people in his church to give hospitality. So what John is doing is that he's identifying the problem, he's identifying bad influences, and among the churches or in the nearby churches, we have bad people around, and these people are affecting this church, or they may affect the church or affect the team. And so he's saying, and you are a good person, Gaius, you are a good person, you are a good team member, and I want to protect you. Please know about this Diotrephes, and he is a bad influence, and he is protecting the team. And after you establish the team, after you maintain good relationship with the team, empower the team and also guard them, protect them from bad influences. And when we do these things, in order for our success, I'm just going to end this, and we need to build good relationships. If we are in our family, if we need to build good relationship in our family, with our friends, with our relatives, with our parents, with our children, and with our spouse, the one thing that we need to do, or the few things that we need to do, important thing that we need to do, is to maintain good relationship. And how? In order for us to maintain this good relationship, we need to respect others, we need to add value to others, and we need to identify them and speak with respect to them and with good words, not we using demeaning words, good words. And then number two, show genuine concern for them when they are sick, when they are not feeling well. In the time of pandemic, just call them, just randomly ask these important people That how are you doing? How are you doing? So many people in the time of pandemic, I'm with somebody here, and I know that this person had been affected with a pandemic thing, and he is an outgoing person, and he is not traveling anymore, and because of this, and he is just going into psychological issues, and we need to be there for these kind of people. So these kind of things are happening everywhere. Is it possible that these key friends, key important people with whom that you want to maintain relationship, is it possible you can just genuinely send a message saying that how are you doing, how is everything with you? Just write to them and show your genuine concern to them. Call them and speak to them. Make a video call and share your life with them. It will really add value to them. And number three, appreciate others. We have to create a culture around us where we constantly appreciate others, even small things. Start appreciating so that it becomes a culture around us, in our work, in our family, in our workplace. It becomes a culture. And number four, work with the team. And we need to work with the team. We need to empower the team. We need to build relationship with the team. We cannot be doing everything. We need to work with the team. And number five, we need to protect the team. And as we are being dynamic and in the team, and to keep the team dynamic, and we have to protect the team from bad influences. We may have to correct our team so that we can succeed together. We cannot go to success on our own. We may have to succeed together. One of the important things that we saw is that we have to respect others, show genuine concern, and appreciate others, work with the team, and protect the team. And as we saw John doing all these things in his life and establishing teams and being successful, that even now, after 2000 years, we talk about it. And let us also follow his example and establish these kind of things among us so that God will be glorified. Thank you very much. And may God add blessings to this. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Bennett, for that message. Now we will go on to our breakout rooms. We'll take 15 minutes to discuss the message and discuss a takeaway point, and also we can pray for each other, fellowship. So let's take 15 minutes for this, after which we will come back and receive the benediction. Mother, over to you.
Hello, Madhu.
Hi, Bennet.
I have to go to another room.
Yes. I forgot to ask you. Please go ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We will
Bye.
thank
Bye.
you.